Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I haven't filmed in a really long time. I've been pretty sick, so my voice is still a little groggy and I might have to step away if I need to cough or things like that, but I'm finally getting over whatever nasty bug I had. I just woke up from a nap, so I feel like I look a little puffy, but it's fine. We're just gonna have a little fun tag today. So this is going to be the reading habits tag. Now if you follow me on Instagram, my handle is BeautyBlossom8 there. You'll know that I am a huge book lover. My favorite place to go is Barnes & Noble. I love libraries. I post a lot of different posts about the books I've been reading or the books I've purchased, and I just enjoy it. I love reading so much. So today I thought I'd be doing the reading habits tag just because I felt like it'll help you get to know me a little better, and also I get to introduce kind of my other love other than beauty, which are books. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I found this tag, it's not new by any means, but I found this through a book YouTuber by the name of Lourdes. Chapters We Love, I think is the name of her channel, so I will link her down below, and I'll link her tag video down below, and she's just really sweet and really cute, and so that's where I found it from, and I follow her, and I thought this is such a fun tag. I really want to do it, and I know this channel is primarily beauty, but if you love books, then please stick around and enjoy. So I have my questions here, and the first question is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? Now I do. I typically read on my couch in the living room. Our couch is really comfy, so I usually lie down and I read, or I'll read in bed, of course, but typically the couch is where that's kind of like my domain. My husband usually stays right by his computer desk, and he's like addicted to the computer, so I am on the couch and I just snuggle up with my dog and read. Number 2, bookmark or random piece of paper. Now I'm gonna be I know this really irritates my husband, but I am a proud advocate of the dog ear. So what I mean is I will actually dog ear the page, and I'll fold the page in, and that's my bookmark. I don't use a separate bookmark. I don't use a scrap of paper. I don't know. I feel like I'm always wandering around, and I like to carry my books with me, and I feel like, I don't know, my bookmarks are gonna fly out, or I don't know. I've never been a bookmark person, so definitely a dog ear reader. Number 3, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I think typically for me when I read, I will just stop wherever I need to. If I'm reading and we have to go out for dinner, then I'll just dog ear the page, close the book, and that's fine. If I can, I like to stop at the end of a chapter, but I'm not bound by that. I can just stop wherever I need to. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? Yes, I do. I like to drink like iced tea or some kind of, or a hot drink if it's winter while I'm reading, but at the same time I'm usually reading on the couch, and our coffee table is really, really tiny, so if I am eating, I like to eat things that are just really easy for me to hold, just like chips or like, nothing that crumbles too much, like grapes or whatever it could be, just something that's kind of easy. But I do read, and I do eat while I'm reading. Yeah, no problems with that. Number 5 is multitasking, music or TV while reading. And I'm gonna have to say neither. So I don't like to listen to music, or I don't watch TV while I'm reading. I find it really distracting, but at the same time, it doesn't bother me if someone else is doing it. Like if my husband is watching a show on TV, and again, like I read in the living room, it's totally fine. I can usually still read, but if the show is really interesting, then yeah, it just kind of bothered me a little bit, and I'll have to stop reading for a little bit. Like, I think recently my husband was re-watching Lost, because he had never gotten to the end of the whole series, and so I had never watched Lost before. I'm not a huge TV person, so it was like really interesting in the beginning, like the first couple seasons. So whenever he would watch a certain episode, I'd be like reading my book, and then I'd get like distracted, and I'd end up watching that, and then I can't read. But normally, whatever he's watching, I can usually just kind of tune it out and I just focus on what I'm reading. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once. For me, I usually like to do one book at a time. If I am going to be reading 2 different books at the same time, it only happened because I was forced to read 2 books at a time. So what I mean is, I'll usually start reading a book that I really like, and let's say I'm at Barnes & Noble or something, and my husband wants to kind of just chill there. I'll pick up a book and I'll start reading it, but I typically always buy the book that I've started reading when I'm sitting at the cafe. So in that case, then I have the book that I've been reading at home, and now I have this new book. And so in those cases, I end up reading 2 books at once. But it's very rare. I never read more than 2 books at once. And what I usually try to do is make sure the genre or the time period is very different. So one will be like in a modern setting, and one will be like a historical fiction book. So that way I don't get it. I'm not going to get confused, but I just feel like that way I can devote my attention to both stories, I guess. But I prefer to read one book at a time. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere. For me, everywhere. I am like the worst party guest you can invite, because I will bring my Kindle, and if people are playing games or something, like video games or something, and I'm not interested in video games, then I'm that person. I'll bust out my Kindle and I'll start reading on the couch. And I know that's so bad, because it automatically creates like this wall around you for people to not be able to approach you and talk to you. Not that I go to parties anyway. And they're not the kind of parties that you're probably thinking of. They're very chill, like at someone else's home. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing party. It's not like rager or anything like that. So, and I think my friends kind of know that I'm like that, so they don't really care. But I wouldn't do it at like a public setting, like a group setting where I didn't know the people, because that would be really rude, and that's not what I'm going to do. But yeah, I love reading anywhere. I love to bring my Kindle just in case, I need to tune out and I need to go into reading mode. But so that's another situation where I end up reading 2 books at a time, is when I have my Kindle around, because like sometimes I'll have my book and then I'll reading that at home. But I'll take my Kindle because I know I'm going to go somewhere, and then I end up starting like an ebook. So then I'm reading an ebook and a book at home. So yeah. Okay, number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. Definitely silently in my head. I don't know. I don't think I could ever read out loud. That's just so weird to me. Like I would always when I'm reading, I'm just reading everything in my head, and they all have their own accents. They all have their own voices, and yeah. Definitely silently in my head. And I'm definitely that kind of person that laughs or looks really angry if something's happening to the character that's really sad, or if it's something funny, then I'll like chuckle. And then like my husband's always like, you look really upset, what's happening in the book, so he's always like, hey, frown lines, so he's really good at like pointing that out to me. But I read silently in my head, but I think everything that I'm reading, like those emotions kind of translate onto my face. So it's kind of amusing, I guess, to people who are around me. Okay, number 9 is, do you read ahead or even skip pages? I never read ahead. I don't know. I don't know why you would want to. Yeah, I don't know. I would never read ahead. I always just follow the book. Number 10 is breaking the spine or keeping it like new. I don't intentionally break the spine or anything, but I don't intentionally try to keep things as new as well. I prefer hardcover books just because, like I said, I carry them around everywhere, and I just feel like it gets protected a little bit better. And it also looks really nice in my library. But if it's a paperback book, I don't know, I just read it naturally, and if it ends up breaking the spine, then that happens. But that usually happens only with my thicker books. So for example, these are my Outlander series, and they're pretty thick. So as I'm reading them and they're kind of heavy, like they naturally kind of break the spine. But I don't do it, like I don't force it. But I'm not like, I don't know, picky about keeping things as new as possible. Obviously, I'm a dog-eared person, right? So, 11, do you write in your books? Never. I would never write in my books. I don't know. Unless it's like a textbook or something that I need to like really analyze. No, I would never write in my books. I'm not like that. For my textbooks when I was in college, though, yeah, definitely. I would write in the margins and highlight and everything like that. But my novels and my books that I read for pleasure, no way, never, would never write in them. Number 12 is the last question, and it's who do you tag? And I just want to say tag anyone who's interested in books and would like to do this tag. I think it's really fun. It's like everyone has different quirks and reading habits and things like that. So, yeah, I just think it's pretty cool. I'm just going to end with the current book that I'm reading. Right now I'm reading the Jojo Moyes, The Girl You Left Behind. She is the author of Me Before You, and I know that movie just came out too with Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin. And I loved that book so much that this is my third book from her, because I read Me Before You and then I read the sequel After You, which I loved. So I figured I'd want to pick up something else. And this is kind of a period piece, kind of. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, so far I've been really, really liking it. So I'm reading that. And I think that's it. I will end this video here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you have a summer cold like I do, I hope you feel better and get better soon. Until I see you next time in my next video, stay well and have a great day. Bye.